So you want to buy a house in Tyler, Texas, but you're a little bit overwhelmed by all the steps involved? Don't worry, I got you. Howdy everyone and welcome back to the channel. For those of you new here, my name's Ronnie and I talk about all things Tyler, Texas and the surrounding areas. If that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and give that notification bell a tiny little tickle so you never miss out on any of the videos. Today I'm going to go over a step-by-step guide on the home buying process here in Tyler, Texas, because I really do know how overwhelming it can be and how many steps there are that are actually involved in so many terms. And I know that I really would have found this type of information useful when I went to buy my first home. The absolute number one thing you're going to want to do when you want to buy a house is you're going to go and get yourself pre-approved. You're going to talk to a lender, and a good lender at that. What they're going to do is they're going to look through all your financial documents. They're going to look through your job history, your credit score, what type of loan you want, and they're going to tell you exactly what type of house you can afford. The last thing you want to do is go searching and looking and getting really, really excited of that perfect $1 million house that you really love and you can see yourself with your kids and your dog and your wife and your husband and your pool in the backyard, and then realizing you're only pre-approved for $200,000. So talking with a really, really good lender is really important. They will do a really good job at setting your expectations at the right level. Also, going to a lender will be really, really useful because what they'll give you is either a pre-qualification letter or a pre-approval letter. Now, some sellers want that when you put an offer in, so it's really helpful for the other steps in this process. Along the similar lines of the lender, we're going to move to step 2, which is finding a really good real estate agent. Real estate agent, realtor, realtor, house buyer, seller, helper. We go by a lot of different names. And yes, shameless plug, I am a local real estate agent in the Tyler, Texas area. So if you are looking at moving to East Texas, give me a text, give me a call, give me an email. I'd be honored to see what in the world I can do to help you in your home buying or selling process. A good real estate agent will make this process so much easier. But if for some reason that you decide to go with someone else, maybe your Aunt Cindy, your Uncle Barry, you got to make sure they're good and they know their stuff. Now, they don't have to be old and been in the game a long time, but they need to know what they're doing. They need to respond to your messages. They need to have good communication. They need to have a really strong work ethic. You need to be 100% sure that they're going to fight for you and get in your house. And honestly, it's not that difficult to get your real estate license. So there are a lot of real estate agents. Last time I checked, there were 1,500 real estate agents in the Tyler area. And about 90% of real estate agents aren't worth their money. They're not very good. So make sure you find a good one. Ronnie Withers. Once that is out of the way and you've given me a call, what you need to do next is you need to find yourself a home or find yourself a list of houses that you really like that are on the market. Us agents can look on something called the MLS, which is the multiple listing service, kind of like your Zillow.com, kind of like your Realtor.com. And that will show a list of all the houses that are on the market at the moment. You want to speak with your real estate agent and you want to tell them exactly what you're pre-approved for, what exactly you want in a house. And if you have a good agent, they'll set you up with a list and they'll show you different properties online. And you can go on places like Zillow, you can go on your real estate agent's website, and you can go and you can get a little list of houses that you really, really like and you want to see. Now, keep this list to around like 4-ish houses, 3 or 4 that you really, really, really like and you could see yourself living in. And then what you can do, you can give this list to your real estate agent and then you can go and tour the homes. You can take a day or two to just have a look. Go with your real estate agent either in person or they can film the video tour. That's what happened for me and my wife because we were out of state. They'll go and tour the house. You want to go to the house. You want to see what it looks like. You want to see if you get a good first impression of the house. If you're there in person, you want to see what it smells like. You want to see if there's any stains on the floor or on the walls or what the yard looks like. These things you can kind of see in pictures, but it's much better to be there in person and have a look there. After you're done there, you would have about 2, 3, 4 houses that you've gone through, you've looked at, you've got videos of the inside or outside, and now you really need to sit down and you need to decide and pick your top 1 or 2. You need to sit down and you need to rank your houses that you really like from best to worst. And what this will do is create a list on houses that you can put offers in on. Your offer doesn't always get accepted in your first house, so you need to move down the list. Once you have this list, you're ready to move on to step 4. This is the bit where your anxiety can get a little bit funky because this is where you put an offer in your house. At this stage, you'll sit down with your real estate agent and what they'll do with you is they'll work with you to see what price you should offer for the house. We do this in different ways. The best way, what you want to do, you want to offer a price that is similar to the sold comparables of the other houses around. To determine the price that you want to offer in your house, your real estate agent will really help you with this. What they'll most likely do is they'll pull a list of houses that are very similar to the house that you like. and they'll show you what we call comps, which are comparisons of the houses that have sold normally within the last 6 months of houses that are really similar to your house. So normally in the same subdivision, the same area, and then we'll look at different things. We'll look at bedrooms, we'll look at bathrooms, we'll have a look at square foot, and then we can determine a price that is similar to what they sold for per square foot and work backwards to see what we should offer for the house. Now, it also depends on a couple of other factors as well, depending on what type of market you're in, whether the house already has offers on it. All of these can play a part in what you offer for the house and how much you like it, what you're pre-approved for, how much money you want to spend. But the main goal of this process is to come in with a really strong offer that you can end up getting approved. It's not always sunshine and rainbows though, and this is a real estate transaction after all. So the first offer price that you put in might not be the price that the seller accepts, but they might not flat out reject your offer. So most of the time you put in an offer, the seller's counter, and you kind of meet in the middle. So just be prepared to negotiate a little bit, have a little bit of buffer space on the price that you want to offer. And then it will be up to the seller to decide whether they accept. If they accept your offer and they've signed the contract, now you are technically what we call under contract, which is great news. Still got a little ways to go, but you're a lot further than you were when you first started looking at houses. So officially under contract, congratulations. Now the wheels are really in motion for you to close on your house. Normally it's around 30 to 45 days, depending on what market you're in. That takes us on to step 5, which is what you'll do after you're under contract is a couple of days after you've signed that contract, you're gonna wanna pay your option fee and you're gonna pay your earnest money deposit. Now your option fee is a variable amount. Normally it's around $100 to $200, and it lets you have a period of time where you can have a home inspection and you could technically back out on the deal if you needed to. Now your earnest money is basically a good faith deposit. Normally it is around 1% of the total sales price, and you deposit that into an escrow account, and it shows the sellers that you mean business and you're really serious on this deal and you're not just planning to back out at the last minute. This money that's held in that account can also be used towards your closing costs at the end. Now, talking about an option period, that moves us on to step 6. So an option period is always negotiable. Most things in these contracts are negotiable, but the option period is normally around 5 days, 7 days, or 10 days, around that kind of time frame. And during this period is where you get your home inspection done and you potentially negotiate some repairs. So this period of time, you get your home inspection done because if any problems come back that are really major and you can't get replaced, then you can leave the deal, you can get your earnest money back, you just lose your option fee. But what we want is we want the home inspection to see if there's anything minor or any small damages, and if there are, you can negotiate with the seller for them to pay to replace those. It's a common myth that a house either passes or fails a home inspection. That's just not true. You just get a long report of the condition of the house. Normally a good home inspector looks at your roof, your foundation, your HVAC, your plumbing, anything inside the house, the floors, and they'll put that into a long detailed report for you to look through. If there is anything that you'd like for the sellers to fix, you can negotiate that, and your real estate agent can do that on your behalf. Or if you think you can just do it yourself really cheaply, you can just move forward and you can plan in your head to fix that once you've closed on the house. I know when buying my house, I think we had a window that had condensation in it, and there was a fan that was making a really annoying noise. So we just negotiated with the sellers to get them fixed. They agreed and we moved forward. Once you've had your inspection, you've negotiated any repairs or you think it's all good, then you move on, you move past the option period. And once you're past this option period, another roadblock you've passed, it just means as a buyer, it's a lot harder to exit the deal and the contract without a really, really good reason. Step 7. At this stage, you're going to be really excited to move into your house, but we're not just there yet. Just bear with me. What's going to happen if you're getting a loan? The lender's going to want what's called an appraisal. And what that is an appraiser comes to your house. They're going to look at sold comparables of the house around the house that you want to buy. And they're going to determine a market value of the house you want to buy. And that's the appraised value. Now, it's not the end of the world if it comes in a little bit lower, but what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to either negotiate with the seller to pay less on the house, or if it comes in extremely low and the seller absolutely refuses, then you can walk away. You can walk away and find a house that's better priced. But this shouldn't really be a problem if you're in a stable market and you've got a really good real estate agent, because they should have done a good job looking at the comps, and the appraised price of the house should be pretty similar to the price that was offered and accepted. At this point, you're so close to closing in your house, you can almost touch it, but you've still got a couple of steps. Your lender is doing something called underwriting. And that just means running all your documents, making sure your credit score is all good, you bought a car or changed jobs just before you're about to close. They'll run all those numbers, they'll run it through the bank that's lending you the money. What they'll give you when you're approved for your mortgage from the bank is what's called a closing disclosure statement. It's a breakdown of everything you need to know about the loan, the amount of down payment you've made, the interest rate that you're in the loan, how much of a loan you're getting, and then it will also tell you how much money you owe at closing, which we call closing costs. A lot of valuable information like that. It's all information you need to know. You keep it in a safe place for later. But the good thing about getting that final closing disclosure statement is that you are clear to close, which is the final step. Step 9 is closing on your house, which is the most exciting step because there's nothing you need to do now except for sign a couple documents. What you'll normally do is you'll normally go to a title company. What they'll have you do is you'll sign a couple of papers. You'll sign the deed, you'll sign the title. And this is also the point where you pay all your closing costs. You get everything signed. Once you and the seller have signed and the funding has gone through, then you're officially closed. You can have the keys and you can move into your brand new home. Now you can really celebrate. Congratulations, you've just bought a house in Tyler, Texas. Go get in there and house it up. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Like I said, my name is Ronnie Withers. I am a local real estate agent in the Tyler, Texas and the East Texas area. Anything in the world that I can do for you, please let me know. Reach out day or night, text, call, or email. All my links are below. Give the channel a like and subscribe for anything East Texas. I'll see you next time. Cheerio.